I had a significantly better reading month this month than I thought I did. Hello lovely people, my name's Nicole. Today I am filming my December wrap-up. I was going through sort of a weird slumpish type thing in the sort of beginning, middle of the month, and if it weren't for Christmas Booktubeathon, there would probably only be maybe 4 books on this list, but as it is, there are 15, I think. So in the beginning of the month, I started off by reading Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and this book was so good. I talked about it in my favorite books of 2014, and this is one of those books that it's written from a ton of different perspectives, so it's super easy to find someone to identify with. At one point, I was reading through it, and something one of the characters said just struck a chord in me, and I just kind of started bawling. I think it teaches us a lot about how people deal with diversity and seeing other people being discriminated against and bullying, and it was a fantastic read, and I strongly encourage everyone to read it. I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads. Next was a reread for me for Harry at Christmas to You, and that was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I loved it. This book, it just makes me happy and reminds me of my childhood and just gives me joy, and I, of course, gave this 5 stars. Next, I read Falling into Place by Amy Zhang. This book is one that I feel like was sort of following the same footsteps of like a 13 Reasons Why kind of thing. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. It was definitely an emotional read, but I didn't feel like I really attached myself to the characters that much. One of the things that I really did enjoy about it, though, is that it was one of those books where most of the characters are not good people, and they're not likable very much, and they're not supposed to be. Also, I thought the point of view of this book was really interesting. I'm not going to say who it was, because I think it's something you just sort of have to read through and figure out on your own when you read it, but I really thought that was a really unique perspective, and I really kind of enjoyed that. I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. The next book I read, I don't have a physical copy with me because it belongs to my parents and it's downstairs and I just can't be bothered to go get it. But that is My Drunk Kitchen by Hannah Hart. This was just one that I happened to see on my parents' bookshelf and picked up and read through all in an afternoon, and it's a fun book. It's more of a sort of life advice humor book than it is a cookbook. Even though it follows the format of a cookbook, but it's a lot of fun and really enjoyable to read, and a pretty quick read because it's in the format of a cookbook, and props to Hannah Hart on her book release. Congratulations, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book I read for an English class, and that was The Thing Around Your Neck by, I'm so sorry if I completely butcher this name, but Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This book is a series of short stories, 12 of them, about people who are living in or are from Nigeria, and this is one of those things that just sort of makes you look at your life and realize that you need to step outside of your bubble and learn more about the world around you, and some of these stories are really powerful to read. I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. The next book I read is another series of short stories. This one was a lot more fun and less heavy than the last one, and that is My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This bookmark has stories by Ali Carter and Holly Black and Gail Forman and Jenny Han and David Levithan and Kelly Link, and oh my god, so many stories. I really enjoyed this collection as a whole. There were a couple stories that I didn't love as much. Some of my favorites were Rainbow Rowell's, Stephanie Perkins, Jenny Han's, and Kirsten White's stories. And my least favorites were Kelly Link's and Laini Taylor's. particularly Kelly Lynx. Something about the whole adult sees a kid, like, watches them grow up and then falls in love with them. That whole sort of storyline, I've seen it done before and I never like it. For some reason, it kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable. But most of these stories I really, really enjoyed. It was a great thing to get me in the holiday mood, and I got this gorgeous UK edition, which has pink pages, and and it's so pretty, and has a bookmark, and I love it, and it's gorgeous. Overall, I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. Now we are getting into the books that I read for the Xmas Booktubeathon, and so I'm just going to sort of give a really brief description of these because I talked about them more in depth in my wrap-up video. So the first one is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I really, really enjoyed this. It was very light, very fun. I kind of wish I'd read it over the summer because it's a very summery read, but very, very much a great, fun book from Morgan Matson. One thing I've noticed when I read Morgan Matson's books is that after I finish them, I just want to go out and go on adventures and get out of my comfort zone and have fun and meet new people. And I gave this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book I read was Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. This is the second book in the Giver Quartet, and I liked this. I didn't love it. I had really high expectations going in because I loved The Giver so much, but this just, I feel like, didn't have the same impact on me. It was still enjoyable, and I'll definitely be reading the rest of the series, but I only gave this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Next, I read The Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Again, this is a book I love forever. I have loved forever and I will love forever. I noticed while reading this how just ridiculously annoying Lockhart is. I didn't notice that the first couple times around, but it's still Harry Potter and I still love it, and so of course 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was The Clockwork Scarab by Colleen Gleason. I felt like I should have loved this because it had a lot of really cool elements to the story, like the sort of steampunk London and the Sherlock Holmes and Bram Stoker relatives. I thought that those would be really cool, and there was a time travel element that I thought was really cool, but for some reason this just didn't stand out to me. It didn't feel like anything new or different or interesting. I just found it kind of boring. I didn't love it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't really have any animosity towards it. I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Anatomy of a Misfit by Andrea Portes. This was a high school sort of like coming of age kind of story, discovering yourself, and I thought it did that wonderfully. This was very much emotional, very much like the kind of book where you see people you recognize and emotions you recognize and situations you recognize. Granted, a couple of the characters were a little sort of exaggerated, but I think it worked really well, and I really enjoyed the main character and felt like I could identify with some of her struggles. I really enjoyed reading this, even if it was kind of emotional, and so I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, now we are done with the Xmas Booktubeathon books, back to just the other random books, and so I have Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. This was the, one of the first graphic novels I've ever read. I don't read a ton of graphic novels, but I really, really enjoyed this one. It was really good. I had heard a lot about it beforehand and heard that it was kind of creepy, and I didn't really get that until about halfway through. And then shit got real, and it's real good. It's very well done. I love this sort of purpley art style. I think it's really cool. And I felt like the main character was really realistic, and a lot of her problems were very identifiable and very relatable as a teenager myself. So I really enjoyed this, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Ask the Passengers by A.S. King, and I love reading books about teenagers discovering their sexuality. Personally, it's just something I really enjoy because that's a topic that I'm particularly interested in studying in my later education, and so I really, really, really loved reading this. I thought it was great. I thought the main character had a lot of really, again, I've said this about a number of books, but a lot of relatable thoughts that I could identify with. I understood why she made a lot of the decisions that she made. I got really kind of frustrated a number of times with her family and friends just because they were being so ridiculous and wouldn't, like, making all the wrong decisions and saying all the wrong things about her and about her life choices. But I feel like it was really realistic. It was hard to read because that stuff actually happens and people sometimes suck. But I really, really enjoyed this book. I will definitely be picking up more of A.S. King's work, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Why We Broke Up by Danielle Handler with art by Myra Coleman. This was another really, really good one. I read a lot of really good books this month. I loved the format of this, how it was the pictures of an object and then the chapter then explained how that object related to the relationship. I really enjoyed seeing their entire relationship and sort of figuring out the mystery of why the hell they broke up. It felt very realistic. I felt like all the teenagers acted and talked like teenagers, and I really enjoyed reading this. I read it pretty quickly. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was a graphic novel comic book thing, and that was the Long Way Home, which is the first book in the season, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 8. I just sort of saw this in Half Price Books and had to pick it up because Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I enjoyed this. I didn't love it. I wasn't a huge fan of the art style. I mean, it was like good, like it wasn't like bad art, it was just sort of a little chaotic and difficult to follow for me sometimes. But I mean, it was still Buffy and it was still enjoyable and fun, and it was great to see all my favorite characters again, even if it wasn't in TV show form, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. The last book I read this month was The Maze of Bones by Rick Riordan, because I'm trying to sort of complete my Rick Riordan collection. Love Rick Riordan. And this is the first book in the 39 Clues series. I enjoyed this. Wasn't Percy Jackson. You know, I didn't quite enjoy it that much. But I did enjoy this. It was a light, fun read. I didn't feel like it really had that much depth to it, though. And I'm not dying to go pick up the next books in the series. I'll probably pick up the other book in the series that he wrote and just sort of Google what happens in between, just because I'm mostly just interested in reading Rick Riordan's writing because I love it. It's so much fun, and this was enjoyable. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, so those are all the books I read this month. I read 13 books and 2 graphic novels. Anyway, that's it for me. I love you, and I will see you later. Bye.